The pleasure is mine in the afternoon. This afternoon, just about maybe quarter to 12, I was covering an incident, we learned of the murder that took place in Silver Lake. So when I left this morning, I made my way to Silver Lake to interview, the community, brothers, family members of this deceased. So right in the valley area, when I noticed a lot of emergency vehicles like speeding up. So me being the very observant person that I am, I decided to follow. And my journey took me to Loda, the road leading to the freshwater lake, where I witnessed a number of emergency personnel, fire officers, police officers, rescue officials, ambulances. Only to find out that a passenger bus was involved in an accident with some parents and children, Frisco children, huh? And the bus plunged about 10 feet. When I say praise God, no serious injuries. That bus was coming from, when I dug further, it was coming from the St. Joseph area on a field trip, with children and parents. So I walked up to the area and noticed the bus on the side. Luckily, it was trapped by a few trees in that precipice. So we have to say thank God that everybody seemed, minor injuries, but everybody seemed safe. I spoke to the bus driver, very shaken, but he was able to tell me his side of the story. I'm sure the police will continue to investigate. So I got two accounts, one eyewitness and the bus driver himself. Very short, but I was able to capture the essence of that story. If you have driven to the freshwater lake, you would understand there's a steep hill before you really get to the top. And that's where the incident took place. Bus driver.
I was coming up there in first gear. I usually steep out there, the vehicle cut off, stayed for a little while, and start to ease back and fall on the right side of the edge of the road there.
All right, but so everybody's okay?
Yeah.
How do you feel though? I mean, you seem like you're almost a little nervous there.
Yeah, I have like a headache trouble in there.
So you need to see the medical specialist?
Yeah, we'll go and check them now.
Okay. Well, stay cool, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay?
You,
all right. How many passengers you had on board there?
I can't remember exactly, but for sure that 6 children. All the rest is adults.
Adults, and where you coming from? Where? St. Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the best for you, eh?
So you heard him. He said, You may have experienced some technical difficulties with the first gear. 4493095. Well, I'm not a mechanic, I'm not a professional mechanic. So, yes, what would have happened there? Some mechanic would have to explain that to me. He tried to engage in first gear, and the bus started going back. But here's the other account of somebody who was in another bus following that bus that, of course, that went down in the 10-feet precipice.
Can you tell me what happened? What's your name? Oh, you don't have to tell me your name. What you saw that happen?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
the boss was reversing and the man asked him to slow down and put the people down, but he didn't hear. So time he tell that to him. As soon as he finished tell that to him, he go back a little and the bus just go down below in the ravine.
So where were you at the
I
time?
was at the back of the bus. I was on the other bus at the back.
So you're a teacher?
No, I'm a parent.
Your parents.
And I was going to leave my daughter today this morning and go and work, And I say, no, I have to go.
But you're traumatized, I see.
It's just strength.
But how did they get off the bus, though?
Well, we had to go down in the ravine and pull them up.
Anybody seriously injured?
Yeah, one or two seriously injured. A lady head burst and whatsoever.
But your soul strength, because I know that could be your child then.
Yeah. Anyway.
Take care. Bye-bye.
A shaken parent there. Traumatized as to what she saw in the bus following the incident. I can well understand the kind of emotions not being felt in St. Joseph at this time. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Somebody says, as the bus driver explained, not technical, it's not technical, it's mechanical failure or human error. I can't judge. He was the driver, so he's the only one that could tell us just what happened, huh? So yes, a bus with, as I said, 6 preschool children and about 8 adults involved in a serious incident on a hill. The bus sort of reversed and fell off a precipice about 10 feet. Huh? Hello, talk to me, yes? Uh-huh.
Yeah, most probably it would get too late. I'm approaching the hill, you see the steep of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
You slow down, you put your first gear, probably try and climb in second gear, awkward gear, and then time you want to put the first gear, too late. And so then the clutch hang out enough fuel, so you're not pressured for him to put the gear.
Oh, okay.
Could be a thing like that.
Well,
From an experience, I had an experience almost like that.
okay.
But I just a truck, them Bedford truck with problem, bricks problem.
Okay.
Go along the Hatton Garden from Cairo territory.
Mm-hmm.
If I was good, I would have ended up in the river.
Oh, thanks for sharing your experience. Maybe. I just want to say thanks to the Creator, for saving these kids. As one parent just told us, she was very, very nervous seeing what happened there. So there's a God, huh? If the trees were not there, believe me, we would be telling a different story. Somebody's asking questions I can't answer. If the driver stopped to put the first gear before he climbed, All I have to say at this time, it is a God. And Q95 was the first, of course, media house on the scene. Hello, talk to me, yes? So we're sharing that.
How are you today?
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Matt, I drove for a number of years. Now I'm boom, boom, I'm not driving again. But Matt, different thing could happen, It hasn't got to be a mechanical problem. What the fella said there about it, if he's going up in second gear and he tries to put the first gear and it's too late, it can happen. But he can also be in first gear and the vehicle refuse based on the load he has and then the amount of gas he was gassing up the vehicle. And if the vehicle has got the power to push up the hill, then when it cannot continue going, it will refuse. So different things can happen. But as you say, we all have to thank God that is what happened, that people didn't get killed or whatever and so on. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let me share the both witnesses again, the driver and a passenger at the back in another bus who basically witnessed what happened. Let's listen to him again.
Yeah, you saying?
Screaming up there in first gear.
Mm-hmm.
I just step out, up there, the vehicle cut off, stayed for a little while, and start to ease back and fall on the right side on the edge of the road there.
All right, but so everybody's okay?
Yeah.
Everybody, how do you feel though? I mean, you seem like you're almost a little nervous there.
Yeah, I have like a headache trouble in there.
So you need to see the medical specialist?
Yeah, go and check them now.
Okay. Well, stay cool, my brother.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you, yeah.
All right. How many passengers you had on board?
Like exactly, but for sure that's 6 children. All the rest is adults.
Adults and where you coming from? Where? St. Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the best for you, eh?
And the police continue the investigations. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, Matt, I heard you admitted that you are an ambulance chaser.
This morning I was, yeah. So like a hurricane chaser there.
All right, that's the spirit. That's the spirit we need, with journalists and so on, but I think, well, you were in the area and you saw that factor you did it. So it's good for you. Praise for you to come and give us the story now.
I know everybody would want to give their account, huh? Well, the police are investigating. I'm sure they'll come up with their own conclusion. Let's listen to the eyewitness again.
Tell me what happened. What's your name? Oh, you don't have to tell me your name. What you saw that happen?
Well, the boss was reversing and the man asked him to slow down and put the people down, but he didn't hear. So time he tell that to him. As soon as he finished tell that to him, he go back a little and the buses go down below in the ravine.
So where were you?
I was at the back of the bus. I was on the other bus at the back.
So you're a teacher?
No, I'm a parent.
Your parents.
And I was going to leave my daughter today this morning and go and work, And I said, no, I have to go.
Well, you're traumatized, I see.
It's just strength.
But how did they get off the bus, though?
Well, we had to go down in the ravine and pull them up.
Anybody seriously injured?
Yeah, 1 or 2 seriously injured. A lady head burst and whatsoever.
But just hold strength because I know that could be your child then.
Yeah. Anyway.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Again, we'll hear the full details from the police. Okay. Thank you very much. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Just thought I'd bring that to your attention with the incident. Luckily, praise God, everybody's alive. I think they're being treated at the Princess Margaret Hospital or the China Friendship Hospital at this stage.
When you
Coming
add
back.
postpaid to internet, unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill. And win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing. Cause I'm on my way.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good.
Cause I'm on my way.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with a refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, Ace Shane African Company. Available also offers your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet or shop. Use Ensueno.
As I told you earlier, I was at the Silver Lake area. In the Silver Lake area, went to do my own investigations as it relates to the shooting death of this young man, gone down execution style. It's a sight to see, huh? As you'll hear in the following report, when we spoke to Attorney at Law, former representative of the Silver Lake people, Mr. Joshua Francis, the incident took place about, sometime in the early hours of the morning. When I went there, a lot of blood, a lot of bullet holes. The young man pretended to be police, knocked on the door, and shot the young man execution style. We'll hear from the parents and our brothers and sisters, our brothers. But listen to Mr. Joshua Francis, who was one of the first persons on the scene this morning. Mr. Joshua Francis. Good.
Was compelled to appear in person at the Silver Lake area. As you stated, I'm the former parliamentary representative for the Rosewood South constituency. Silver Lake being part of the constituency, it's a community that I am very close to. The ties between myself and Silver Lake is one that is very tight. So once I heard about a homicide in Silver Lake this morning, I made it a priority to show up to give support to the family and to the community of the victim. My understanding is that sometime this morning at about 3 a.m. thereabout, 4 masked men descended on the house of the victim, and they appeared by knocking the door and shouting police, and thereafter the shooting took place, causing the death of a young man called Eddie. They called him Boom. He's a man I would have known personally. So it's rather very unfortunate. It's very, very sad. As expected, the community right now is in mourning. The community is shocked, and the community is looking for answers to the many questions concerning what appears to be a spate of homicide in the community over the past 5 years or more. Mark, if you go back to 2017, there was a gentleman who was shot, and that shooting, totally that is, and that shooting has since caused rippling effects. And there are allegations of rivalry, and it seems to be going on. Well, of course, Matt, I do not want to say too much because the matter is subject to investigation. As a matter of fact, I met the police officers on the scene. They have since left the area. I'm not too sure how much they would have obtained in their investigation, but as we speak, nobody has been formally arrested for the shooting. So let us hope that the police will gain some success and the family's victim will get justice, the community will get justice. But what is happening, or what has been happening in Silver Lake, Matt, is something that we need to pay attention to, because while some of us may think that it's Silver Lake and do not pay regard, Silver Lake consists of humans just like us, people, barefoot people, ordinary people. And what's happening in Silver Lake can happen in another community and many communities in Dominica. So I believe all of us must pay attention to what's happening and to contribute in whatever capacity to minimize gun violence and to minimize tension in the community and other communities that may result in homicide or killing.
We see a trend, as you said, and it's been going on for a while. Do you think that the powers that be has been ignoring the Silver Lake community? Or should pay more attention to Silver Lake? Given what
I believe Silver Lake definitely needs more attention. We need a support system here for the community, particularly the young people. Matt, the people who are being killed primarily are young people, young men, and the alleged killers usually are young men. And therefore, it is important that the policymakers, the government, organizations, whether they are NGOs or not, must pay more attention to the community. A support system needs to be developed to cause the young people to feel a sense of belonging, to develop a method or abilities to mediate and to deal with their problems without resorting to violence. Of course, Matt, the younger people also need more opportunities. I have placed on public record that I'm not aware that any child from Silver Lake has been given a scholarship to go on to advance his or education. But I'm aware that Silver Lake has produced bright children. Some of them did very well at their TXC. However, they have not been given such opportunities to go on so that they can return to the community and be a role model. I believe that's very important. And it should not cost the government much to send 1 or 2 children from Silver Lake to study in different disciplines, have them return, and be a role model to the younger children in the community. I think that's where it starts. You know, the older people, of course, we cannot give up on them. But some way, somehow, we need to get the experts to study what's happening in Silver Lake and to generate recommendations which can be practical and effectuated to bring that matter, that what appears to be a rivalry, to rest. So we will not be here, you know, talking about another murder, another killing, another homicide.
But you've been there for a few minutes, Joshua. What is the mood? What is the environment in Silver Lake this time?
Well, generally there's a cloud of sadness over the community. Since I came here, you know, people have been very, very mellow, you know, looking for answers, you know, having discussion amongst themselves as to what happened, what could have happened, who could have done that, why they could have done that, you know. So the loss really is not just for one family, but for the entire community. And having spoken to a few young persons since I came here, they themselves feel they're walking on the edge. They're walking on glass, on broken glass. They feel like they may be next. You know, I spoke with a young man and he said that he has been staying away from trouble, but right now he feels like he may want to be in another community because like this is happening too often. You know, especially how it happened. You know, they feel unsafe. They feel naked. They feel exposed. They feel vulnerable. And I cannot blame them, given what has been happening in the community.
Was he the only person in that house that got when he got shot?
Yeah, from my understanding, he was the only one in the house at the time.
And these perpetrators pretended to be the police.
Can you repeat that, Mark?
These perpetrators there pretended to be the police. That's what you heard.
From what I understand, they went to the house of the victim. They knocked the door and they shouted police. That is according to the account of a neighbor of the victim.
Interesting.
The victim's neighbor said that she heard police. So some other young man also said he heard police. And then they heard the gunshot. And by the time they checked, they saw the 4 alleged perpetrators fleeing from the scene. And since then they have been left in shock.
You know, in recent times, in recent times, of course, we've heard the police, you know, in a big fight with illegal guns. So it appears that there's still a lot of guns on the outside there, and we have to commend the police that they've been trying, but again, there are more guns on the outside.
Well, I'm happy that you put it on public record that the police is trying. When the police does well, we have to give them credit. And of course, the Ministry of Justice and Security would have taken several steps to alleviate the situation in respect to gun violence. Some of us may be critical and they feel that's not enough, but at least some efforts have been made and continue to be made, because when all is said and done, Dominica belongs to all of us, and we want a peaceful nation. Relatively, we're still peaceful. Sadly, relative to last year, Dominica now would have experienced, I think, somewhere 18 or 19 homicides, as opposed to 9. Last year, we only had 9. Thus far, we have had about 18. So that's over 100% increase in the number of killings on the island. And when you look at the statistics, most of those killings are as a result of unlawful gun violence. So it's everybody's business to assist in arresting what appears to be an increase in the number of killings on the island.
As somebody's indicating to me there, you know, it appears to be some revenge killing or heat, you know, and we should be very concerned and not only for Silver Lake, but for the rest of Dominica as well, because this continues to happen.
Well, Well, of course, Matt, of course. And as I said, we need the experts to come in. I'm not an expert in criminology, neither you. We need the experts. The government needs to retain the services of persons who are trained in those areas and to assist the state in dealing with that matter. What I know as a social worker, as an attorney, a former teacher, a community man, is as we speak, more can be done for the community of Silver Lake. We really need to develop a support system. We need to provide more opportunities for the young people. We need to employ more educational tools for the people. We need to give the people a greater sense of belonging, give them a greater stake, make them more responsible for themselves, let them feel confident about themselves, and to help them move away from areas which causes trouble. But crimes must rest on a very sophisticated pedestal. Well, I don't want to use the word pedestal. I want to say that crimes, in trying to understand it, can be very sophisticated. And that is why we need the experts to come in.
Joshua Francis, again, thank you very much. For this, keeping us up to date. You on the ground there in Silver Lake. I'll try my very best to.
Well, Matt, I was compelled to appear in person at the Silver Lake area.
Silver Lake again.
2025.
I talked to an emotional mother this morning. She said she was on her way to see the Prime Minister when she got the call.
Minister, I'm going to watch it this morning, boy, about 6 o'clock.
So how you feel about your son being
killed? Like I all life. I think about him, my last little boy, my last child, I want the first. They told him I had free life. I go to Linus and see him already. One life. I call your name 10 times, let me hug you. Stay strong, eh?
All right, good morning.
That one in America, a transport picture. I don't get nothing for you don't want to get the shooting, I don't get nothing.
So how many of your children have died as a result of
that one is making 3.
3 kids? Mm-hmm. So you had 8,
yes,
and you lost 3. And you just came to his home. What did story you hearing about? What did you hear?
They say some fellas passed there, he look back in, and if when they come, the parents, his brother tell me, he didn't say, police open, police. He said, this police open, they'll shoot me in his chest.
You saw his body this morning?
Yes, I do. At in Filago.
Yes.
And his brothers.
So how are you feeling at this time?
Like year before, he last year. And then police pitch him. But they pitch him because he don't stop. He said, gangster made him to kill him long time. They shoot him already. I was afraid of that. And they, boy, where I go and go look for him. I go to destroy that person, your father. I'm sorry for that person. 4 of them, all inside is bullets on the ground. All inside the house is bullets.
You just can't believe it.
No, my child not passing so. My child not passing so. All of them have to go one by one. Child not passing, my child.
How old are you, mommy?
I'm 67.
67.
All right. A grieving mother was lost 3 children. 2 through gun violence. I also spoke to the brother there in that area.
Yeah. But it seems like Silver Lake, every time it's a gun crime. What is really going on here?
Well, it's how them guys live your life, so yeah, if you live your life, you don't want that on your side, you don't want that, yeah. Okay. But some of them people they want that or they want this on your side, Yeah, so
but this is the second brother you've lost, really?
Yeah, by gun. Yeah, second brother, one 2019, one 2025.
Where did that happen in 2019?
That happened behind the cinema, previous cinema in town there. That was a Friday the 8th, 2019. That was March 2019, Friday the 8th.
Okay.
You was at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And up to now, you look at my brother Kira now. Yeah.
So that case has not been called.
That case, I don't know what to that case, no, sir. Them police, I don't know how them police working, you know.
But I was hearing a story about your house was burnt and you're looking for a house up to now.
Yeah, well, my house burned since 2016. 2016, before Maria. Yeah, and after that now, 2017, the government had us renting. The government had me renting Kenfield. I was in Kenfield, yeah, we can come mash up the house. They put me Casa Comfort, no Casa Comfort, Port Michel. After Port Michel, they take my Port Michel, they put me Casa Comfort. After a while, I Casa Comfort, the Prime Minister say they cannot pay rent for me again. Yeah, the last couple months I was paying half and he was paying half. After the regulator said they can't pay anyone in the end of the month. They can't pay again. So everybody have to look for yourself. Yeah, and since 2016, boy, I don't know where to stay now, boy. And I vote in a government, and I have a pirate government, I telling you. And I don't know where to stay now, sir.
They promised you they'll give you.
Promised me, look the building there with my name down way, and other people in the apartment say, also in a shock, I stay on somebody land in Guata there way. My brother build on somebody land, boy.
You hurt though.
Yeah, boy, I hurt me, boy. In houses building every way, 100 houses building every way, boy, and you just forget about Civolic way, and you have a private for their way.
And you're supporting them?
I supporting them, sir. Long I support them people, we don't do nothing for me, not serious, now. I have a house in Guata there, I have the private to build a toilet for me. Up to now, I can't get that now. And my son saying with me there, you can't have a prison Civolic, I can't get it now. Nothing, nobody helping us now. Local government used to help us. Lockdown government, local government, lock down there. Yeah, then we should check housing first, you know, to get rent first or to get house first. I mean, they will not even there again. I know where I stand now. Yeah, trust me, sir. I was holding strong here because, yeah, you have a God above here.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Take
boy.
it easy.
Yeah, I think I holding strong, sir. Trust me.
Take care, bye.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, good.
And the very mother lost her home a couple years ago. Now she's in Newtown trying to find some rest.
In this little ghetto hamlet called Silver Lake, with a population less than 100.
Before that, you heard the mother, now you heard the brother. Huh?
Everybody seemed to have a gun.
Actually, his father was killed, the very young man this morning. Gun violence. When will it stop? When will it stop? Yes, the very, very father.
To the ground, and I'm just a child.
His father was killed, and now
to convince my mother never to go.
more bullets,
Mama,
more death in the family. Something seems to be going on there.
in loving memory of my brother.
They're killing each other.
Mama, I don't wanna go outside in Silver Lake again. In living
Is it the case that they see and don't tell?
just a child. I'm just a child.
Very sad.
And I just wanna stay inside and hide. I'm just a child. I'm just a child. And I'm afraid to go outside. Cause anywhere there's a shooting, you hear the same saying.
What are the answers for Silver Lake? It's like every year, twice a year, have to visit Silver Lake for the same reasons. Huh? Something has to be done. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah?
Well, first, let me extend my condolences to the family and friends of this young man who's been gunned down again.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me if any of those gunslingers over the last few years who've been putting bullets into our bodies, has any of them been caught?
No, I don't think so. I think, as I said, his father was killed through gun violence, and you see this morning he himself was killed.
So if you cannot solve the problem, why don't we seek the help of the British or the Americans in terms of the forensic thing? Your guys are a bunch of jokers, you know. All you hear, people getting killed, and all you hear, we're investigating. My brother, if you all cannot do the bloody job, get the British to come and help you all. You cannot do it. You have not been able to solve anything. All right, Matt? Get the British people who used to own Dominica to come and help you all with the forensic science. Because your guys there, the Dominican people you have there doing that, they just cannot do the bloody job, Matt. And it's a pity that every time somebody gets gunned down like a stray dog, we come on air, we cry, we ring Matt in the morning, and all this. Matter get the people who have been paid to do that job, Blackmore and Company and your prime ministers, they cannot do the work. They haven't got the expertise. So for God's sake, get the British people down there. Have a nice day, Matt.
And you know one thing I observed, huh?
Most people can't afford oil and flour to make.
A lot of the evidence were basically left behind, you know. How are the investigation? You know, many people criticize the police. And I was able to see this morning a lot of the evidence left behind, huh?
Everybody seems to have a gun. I remember the day they shot my older brother down. Just yesterday.
I will not reveal what I saw, but I think they got the message.
And I'm just a child. A 12-year-old child trying to convince my mother. Never.
Make sure police officers, when you get back there this afternoon, pick up everything. Huh? It can be used for evidence going forward.
In loving memory of my brother.
How do we want to solve crime
Mama.
when we don't do full investigations? Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Good day, Matt. I need Silver Lake people need to stop doing drugs and go and plant lettuce.
You think the Silver Lake people that did the killing?
Yes, let them stop doing drugs and go and plant lettuce.
All right.
I'm just a child. I'm just a child.
Now you may be pointing fingers at the wrong people too, you know? Yes, a lot of crime. It doesn't mean that everybody in Silver Lake is involved in drugs, huh?
You hear them saying, oh God, Silver Lake again. Oh,
actually, I did speak to community members. I mean, of course, you would expect them to say he was a nice guy. You hear his mother said she's going to go to Guadeloupe. You know what they say happens in Guadeloupe, huh? I don't believe in evil, but some people do. As a community, as a country, I think we should need to do a little more for Silver Lake. Yellow, talk to me, yes?
I'm not.
Yeah.
You heard what the mother said. Why is it going to stop? If you're thinking like that, you're going to work it. Is it ever going to stop? When she has this mentality? But when really people are there trying to get a solution for Silver Lake and you're thinking like that. If you are people whereby persons want to help you and you don't want to accept the help and change and do better, what can you do? Can you force a horse to go to the water and drink? No. Yes, you say we should have standard, but if there are persons in there who do not want to change and do not want to get the help, what expect? When you say you're going to go to and you're going to make sure each one go down one by one, what is that thing? Like seriously?
Well, let me ask you a question though. What would you advise the Silver Lake people, to stop what seemed to be almost like an evil spirit affecting that community all the time? What would you advise them?
Matt, I'll honestly tell you, sometimes when we're in pain, we don't see anything other than lashing out in the wrong way. So I'm saying all times, like you said, the father was gone down. Listen to the trend of the coach. The father was gone down. One son was gone down. You understand? People maybe no information are not saying because what? Yes, that is a revenge. We are going to revenge. And you rightly can say too, maybe they're not getting justice from the justice system, so they're taking it into their own hands. You can say that. But I am saying there are persons who know what is going on and they're not saying it. And like you said, you rightly went there, Joshua went there, and Joshua painted a picture. But I am saying to yes, Joshua, that is what he is. But for me, you know better because I've been to Silver Lake, Matt. And when you hear the people talk, most of the time, you know, they know they're going to be clear revenge. You understand me? So I am saying to yes, we want to help them and we want to say this, that about it. But if they don't want it, have to change, have to stop what is going on. You think it's going to stop, Matt? No. It has to start from them to wanting to stop. If they do not want to stop, who are we all there to want to stop? You understand where I'm coming to? So that is what I have to say. So to take that, make that statement live on your program, we think it is not going to stop. So okay, the 4 men that did that, you know what is going to happen? She's going to go to God, and let's suppose what is going to be God of both. We have 4 young people there. Now, what is the family of the 4 young other people going to do, Matt? You understand where I'm coming from? The tree is going to just give grow branches. Because the family of the other 4 young men are going to get it right. You understand me? What is going to happen? That is what I'm saying. So if you ask your mother, they want you to stop from there. Well, when is it going to stop? When? It starts with her. Yes, your son was going to answer, but if you want to go and take away of life of 4 other young people, it is not going to stop. That's what I'm saying, Matt.
All right. Thank you. 202. Somebody's saying, man, tell the guy, meaning the brother, because he said he's homeless, looking for government's help. Why is he still supporting a system that he sees that's against him? He's red for labor, and he won't get anything. It's us workers that will get. Garrett wants to buy us. So, but the labor rights are playing blind, huh? That's what one WhatsApp message reads, huh? You will not get a house because you're red. Is that so?
Dominica is on a reverse gear now. And I don't know what they have police officers in Dominica for. Recently, I came to Dominica just before the Creole Festival, and I was looking for a Creole shirt to put on because I saw one online and I thought I might get it.
We'll talk about that some other time. Let's concentrate on what's going on here, yes? Sorry.
Matt, the problem with Dominica, the state money is going into the wrong source. I was in Dominica recently, and I wanted to get a Creole.
Again, we'll talk about that when we have an open line. I know what your story coming with. Okay, so we'll share that when we have an open line. Hello, talk to me. 449-3095-9697. Somebody says, man, the root causes of violence and drug use in the community need to be established. Secondly, programs should be in place to help the people. The community sounds like it's neglected. I think Mr. Joshua Francis did say that at least offer a few scholarships so we can have some, mentors in the community. Not one Silver Lake person have been offered a scholarship. Miss Shakira, do something about that, okay? Just recently, with a nurse, a very good nurse from all accounts, she lost her baby and died. So please try to help the people of the Silver Lake area. Let's take a voice note there, yes?
My friend, I listen to you. So, but what that to tell me? So everybody that they kill in British, the police holding the criminals, that's all over, Matt. That's on the police report. They said they had how many homicides in Dominica, up to how many people. Just give the police a chance, let them do their investigation. What is this to say? Everybody they kill in England, they knowing who killing the people in England. Come on, man, which are our country, my brother. Yes. We have murders, yes, but the police, most of the murders, they capture the criminals, they have them in police custody. So what is he saying? So when in England, everybody they kill, only the people that kill the people in England or in America? Come on, man, that's not happening all over the world, my brother. Without our country, my brother.
Solution to Silver Lake. Put police security there. Oh, one community leader said, I think I missed that interview, we need more lights in the area. There are a lot of dark spots in Silver Lake. I'm hoping that the authorities are listening. The people of Silver Lake say they need more lights. Because if they had lights in the area, there's one spotlight. If they had lights, they would have seen, or maybe yes, see something and say something. But these four gentlemen came in the dark and disappeared. So they need more lights, huh? Just a security question there. So please, police, you need more lights and maybe cameras as well. Hello, talk to me. Yes,
But especially when I run you a little while ago, the first question I posed to you was that the gunslingers have been putting bullets into a body. Have they caught any one of them? You said no.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me?
Yes, I'm here.
So that last caller, I don't know what he's talking about, In England, my boy, they got forensic scientists who can solve the problems, and they solve most of it. The point I was making that if you need help here, you should seek the help of the British. They're very good at it. They used to own this island before, and I'm pretty certain if you ask them for help, they would help you and find the problem. I wish you might solve the problem.
I'm here with you.
It's not a question of England. It's a question of, are you able to do the job? The people you've got doing the investigation, where are they trained? Are they trained? So why is it they haven't been able to find any one of those gunslingers? And this guy is talking about England. My brother, go and do your research. If you could make a meaningful contribution, take a mouth shot. Have a nice day.
All right, thank you very much. And the voice from the grieving mother explains why the problem is so deep. Instead of asking for justice, she's saying she's going to Guadeloupe to do them harm. This is the revenge mindset that exists. Too much hate, poverty, anger, selfishness. Instead, we fight the system, we fight each other. Yet year after year, these folks vote and support their own demise, hopelessness in the society. They know who is after them and say nothing to the police. If it is revenge killing, then we should ask revenge for what? Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, murder for murder. Just asking. But the police out there, the problem would have been solved. So we need police presence there in the Silver Lake area. Maybe a police post. Hello, gentleman on the telephone, yes? Oh, sorry. On the telephone, are you there, caller? Yes.
But
Yes, sir.
good afternoon. I start to hear the killing in Silver Lake, man. But one thing is a good interview, but you never follow up with another question. But Matt, on a serious note, although what I think is serious, it doesn't interview people good enough. If it was me asking, I wouldn't tell you I supporting them enough because that thing changed. But
You don't know what is in somebody's mind. I mean, that's how we feel, huh?
yes. But Matt, you see me? I might sound like I have sense too, and I might not have sense. This man that called, I want to target nobody, but I understand in this large gentleman there that we need help. Too much of crime being investigated and nothing coming out of it. It's either we need help or maybe we have to wait until one of them high top policeman daughter get killed, so we'll see if they can investigate what will happen. But the man not talking about England there, I don't know where to tell him to go. But the last man there that say we need the help from whether it's England or America or who, because all them police down there trying to do now is to dismantle people standing up for the right, And it's two things, either we look for help, the government might have to look for help, or somebody will have to, not somebody will, maybe when one of them high prominent people, daughter who get killed or son get killed, maybe we'll see some investigation going on. I listen.
All right, caller. Thank you. Let's go back to the telephone. Hi, are you there, caller? Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon to you, sir. How are you?
The guy that talk about England, he know nothing about England. England is one of the only places in the world when I go to England, I feel like a king. I walk free, even more free than Dominica. It's not anybody that can do crime for them not to hold them in England. England is a free place, even more free. I'll tell it to you again, than Dominica, man. So this guy that talking about England, he don't know nothing. Trust me. And you're a good day.
All right, this is the guy defending England. Well, we have Scotland Yard. That's chalk and cheese, huh? Hello, yes?
Hello, Mark. Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir. Yeah.
Good afternoon to everybody. Mark,
Yeah.
this crime business. Dr. Francis was one in Dominicans. You forget?
Yes.
Yeah, and this evil prime minister took him to the cleaners in his cabinet, Austria and Blackmore. And today, Dominica has the highest crime rate in the Caribbean. Crime is out of control, and these guys are roaming in Rome, and he just see war and love-do, and the young people just are every day falling, and these guys are wicked and evil of sky. Yeah, they must come, don't worry you. They will come. You, Nibuvini, thank you very much.
Somebody else is saying that Dr. Francis Sanford warned Dominicans of the state of crime in Dominica. He was taken to the cleaners by the government. So the police needs to have a sit down in Silver Lake, waiting for a crime to happen. If that's the case, we need the police everywhere these crimes are committed. Never heard of more nonsense from that. Sometimes the young men need to stay away from crimes and problems. And the government need to put things in place to empower them and keep them into a job. If there's nothing to do, then they turn to crime. On the telephone, yes, as it relates to Dominica being the highest rate in terms of rates, I don't think so. But per capita, that might be a different question. Hello, talk to me, huh?
Like you tell you, don't make the people tell about lights. The parents was putting lights there for them and the people take out all the lights. Don't worry them people when you tell about lights in maps. Map is not all what you're for you to believe. Right.
All right, I'm telling you what they said. So, if there were lights before, they would be the ones to tell you. But anyway, I'll ask more questions about the lights, huh? And whether there were more lights. So if you're from Silver Lake, tell me what you know. We're going to come back, Dominica, after this.
The New India Insurance Company has reopened its doors in Portsmouth, offering the same great services you get in Roseau. Motor vehicle insurance, home and business owners, fire and related carriers, public liability, and so much more. Come, visit us today for insurance with a personal touch on Bay Street, Portsmouth, or call us at 445-4023. We are ready to serve you.
www.FindMothers.com. No standing in line, no wasting your time. FindMothers.com. Just order online, everything will be fine. FindMothers.com. As soon as you click, you'll be getting it quick. FindMothers.com. It's like having the entire store at your fingertips. www.FindMothers.com.
Just got paid and I got money to earn.
But do you really have money to burn? What about your commitments? Have you paid your bills? What about your telephone bill, your light bill, your water bill? What are you going to use to pay your loan? A truck of stones? NCCU wants you to continue to make wise financial decisions that will not leave you stressed. Think of your commitments. Commit to your commitments. Commit to saving. And then you can have some money to burn.
Cause I'm on my way.
KFC delivery is here. Just place your order at www.kfcdominica.com, Facebook or WhatsApp at 614-2633 and your order will be delivered to you. KFC, it's good.
Cause I'm on my way.
Food, check. Water, at least 1 gallon a day. Flashlights, batteries, chargers, you bet. Don't forget the stuff that matters most. Meds, IDs, cash, comfort items, and yes, lots of snacks. This Hurricane Tip is brought to you by ESA Trading Limited. We are making a difference for you.
Yeah, we're stricken in the Creole season. We're stricken. What shriek is that? Shriek, a masterpiece theatrical production written by Alwyn Bully and staged by the people.
Somebody's on the telephone. Hello, this is the Talk of the Block. Talk to me, yes? Yes, Bernard.
Let me just. I think I told you that once upon a time, but I want to reiterate again and tell you the same thing.
Okay.
My brother QC was playing the donkey brain, like crazy tea. Plenty of us, it would avoid plenty of us of calling for that jackass that call and say about the police doing this and the police doing that and the police, because it's not none of his family members. So he had to open his big mouth and say that. Yeah, but if you play the donkey after every conversation, every like that That would avoid us plenty of us from calling.
I'll tell you what. I worked with Crazy T for a few years, maybe 4, at Kyrie, and this is something I never supported. If he was alive today, I would have told. He could have told you what I said. Never supported that donkey brain there. Every time Prime Minister PHR spoke. He was my boss. I told him it was very, very insultive. So I wouldn't do that. I never will. Somebody says, man, Silver Lake has its issues, but people there are also humans. The way some callers speak about Silver Lake is as if it's pigs that's living there. They are people, they have rights to dignity. This is exactly why they fight, because they are pegged as nothing in society from birth. Stop looking down on people. And lastly, the man in St. Thomas that called, stay in your lane. You lack any comprehension of forensics and crime-solving problems. Have a seat. I want to switch gears here for the next 30 minutes because I heard the Prime Minister at the news conference attacking Dr. Thompson Fontaine and accusing him of flip-flopping. I'm hoping that Mr. Fontaine, he did promise, maybe right now I can't find it, but this is what the Prime Minister said about Dr. Fontaine in the press conference yesterday.
It is a campaign of misinformation.
And as you said, as he said there, he has a campaign of misinformation. Let's listen.
Most notable matter of great concern is a campaign of misinformation and misrepresentation being actively conducted by certain political leaders, most notably the leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. In an apparent attempt to confuse voters and discourage participation in the confirmation process, Dr. Fontaine has made a series of false and misleading statements, including claiming that an 80-year-old Dominican by birth, residing in Antigua and Barbuda for decades without a valid passport, driver's license, or social security card, can have his registration confirmed in 10 minutes. This is false and misleading, and Dr. Fontaine knows this. Asserting that the birth certificate has been removed as a preferred means of confirmation, this too is false, and he knows it. Stating that he has written to and met the Electoral Commission regarding confirmation issues, I am advised that this claim is untrue, and Dr. Fontaine knows that is untrue. Alleging that he possesses confessions from persons who voted multiple times in 2019 Yet to date, he has not produced a single piece of evidence on this, nor reported these alleged crimes to law enforcement or the electoral office. This too is a baseless and irresponsible statement. And if you are an aspiring leader of a country and you're a leader of a party and you have evidence that a criminal act was conducted, multiple criminal acts were conducted, and you have yet to report it to anybody, on October 16, 2025, Dr. Fountain publicly pledged that his party, the United Workers' Party, will provide assistance to, and I quote, those who do not have any of the IDs that are required, as passport, driver's license, social security card. The idea is not to leave any single person behind. We need every single vote, and we will do everything possible. That is, the United Workers' Party will do everything possible to ensure that our supporters have the IDs that they require to be able to get the confirmation, end of quote. That's what Dr. Fountain said on October 16, 2025, that his party and himself will facilitate all his supporters, those who do not have IDs, to get their IDs so that they can get confirmed. However, by November 16, 2025, he reversed his position, alleging that the Dominican Labour Party was, and I quote, offering to pay for passports for supporters, calling it, and I quote, naked manipulation, end of quote. And a quote from Dr. Fountain, a violation of the country's laws, end of quote. Such dangerous political flip-flopping only serves to erode public confidence. Public confidence. That's November 6th, sorry. November 6th, he said this. So the first statement was on October 16th, and the second was November 6th. And so such dangerous political flip-flopping only serves to erode public confidence in our democratic institutions. So on one time, he said in the Calago territory and other places that he will facilitate all his supporters. And next time, a month later, he's saying that which the Labour Party is engaged in, the same thing he said he will do, he says it is contrary to the violation of the country's laws. And so, ladies and gentlemen, these dishonest and willfully deceptive statements by opposition leaders are designed to undermine the credibility of our electoral process and discourage citizens from confirming their registration.
And there's a serious allegations made there by the Prime Minister of Dominica. And if you know my style, I always try to find the other side. Dr. Fountain, are you there?
Matt, good afternoon. Yes, I am.
Serious accusations there. Then the Prime Minister says that you're flip-flopping on statements made before and you're changing it after. Is that a total misrepresentation of what you did say? Or what is your defense?
Yes,
there?
Matt. Total on the part of the Prime Minister. I did not flip-flop. The Prime Minister is actually trying to put words in my mouth. What I said to the people of the Kalinago territory, when we had our town hall, in response to a question from the audience, one of the persons felt that some people may not have the means to get their passports to confirm. I said, well, we have to do everything possible to ensure that they get their passports. It's the Prime Minister who said, I would facilitate. Now that's two different things altogether. If I told the Dominican public that the United Workers' Party can facilitate thousands of people to get their passport, they will say, but where are you getting the money from? We estimate it would cost upward of $1 million to get passports for the people who need it. Where are we going to get this money from? I could never have made this claim. That's not what I said. The Prime Minister is misrepresenting what I said. And I did not flip-flop. What I said is that he had, in fact, prior to even when the Electoral Commission announced the use of the birth certificate initially through SRO 27, he was going around the country offering people passports. And I said that this is wrong. You cannot be offering people passports when there's supposed to be a stipulation for birth certificates. And even then, it does not make sense. So what we did, and the everything possible I was talking about, was to make an appeal to the government. I said, listen, thousands of Dominicans are not able to go through the confirmation process. But either we revert back to SRO 27, or failing that, the government of Dominica should allow persons, to have a passport amnesty so that people can get passports free of charge. But the idea that I promised to facilitate is the words of the Prime Minister, not mine.
So the accusation that you're flip-flopping is totally a misrepresentation of your statements. I think we may have lost it for a minute there. Yes, Dr. Fontaine, you still there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm saying that the statements from the Prime Minister say that you're flip-flopping, a total misrepresentation of what you actually said.
Complete misrepresentation, because he was saying that on the one hand, I was offering to get people passports, and on the other hand, I was saying that they should not be doing it. That's not what I said. I said you would do everything possible to ensure and to assist people to get passports. There are different ways of doing it. I never said that the party would pay for people's passports. So that's a misrepresentation by the Prime Minister. And there were several misrepresentations like this in his press conference, which by the way, sounded very, very much like the launching of a political campaign for elections, because it was clear that the Prime Minister came out there with one view in mind, and that is to somehow, in his own tormented thoughts, to believe that he was going to tear me down in front of the Dominican public, but nothing that I said is not true. For example, another example that he gave was when I talked about the 81-year-old coming from Antigua. What I said was, if you have two individuals, an 80-year-old Dominican who have been in Antigua for the past 40 years, but before they left Dominica, they registered. I said, this person can come to Dominica tomorrow and get registered in 10 minutes, and that is correct. If you're coming to Dominica, obviously you must have a passport, but not a Dominica passport. You would have an Antiguan passport, but the legislation allows for the use of a passport from a Commonwealth country if you're already on the voters list. So that means that the person who no longer has a Dominican passport, but who is in possession of an Antiguan passport, can come to Dominica and get registered get confirmed in 10 minutes. Whereas a Dominican who has been in the country, never left the country, will not be able to confirm because they don't have a passport. That is the point that I was making, and that is the point that I stick by. So again, the Prime Minister was wrong on this one.
But he basically saying that you guys are on a campaign of misinformation. How do you defend that?
But where is the misinformation? We have, and the same thing that he said, for example, he said that the passport, the birth certificates are no longer in use. But that is the case because SRO 39 removed the use of the birth certificate for the purposes of confirmation. That is not misleading. That is the difficulty that we're having. And because of that, because of the fact that the Electoral Commission removed the use of the birth certificate, thousands of Dominicans are not now able to confirm. And that is a real problem for the confirmation process. So all we have been trying to do is to highlight the difficulties and the problems. So we've been highlighting that as one problem, disenfranchising thousands. We have also been highlighting the fact that entire villages do not have confirmation centers. And how you expect an entire village to be uprooted to another one to go and register, to go and confirm. So we have been telling the Electoral Commission, why don't they move around the enrollment officers so that for 2 days in the week, or probably 1 week they're in Trafalgar, another week they're in Mount Prospect. Facilitate the process. It should be the Electoral Commission to facilitate the voters to confirm. That's all we have been saying. That's not confusing. The average voter today is saying that they will not confirm because of the onerous conditions. One, they have to move vast distances to confirm. And secondly, a lot of them do not have the required identification. We have simply been highlighting those facts. These are facts. And we want the Electoral Commission to fix it. Even while we are doing this, Matt, we have been encouraging persons to go out and get confirmed, those who have the certification. So it's not like we're not confusing people. We are just saying that the current system as it is not going to work. The confirmation process will not work in its current form. And we are saying clearly that one, they must reintroduce the use of the birth certificates along with the affidavits and the picture ID and the photo ID, They must do that. We are saying secondly that they must restart the re-registration process. So for new registrants, that should be open. That should be an ongoing process. And we're also saying that they need to open up more confirmation centers to ensure that every person has a chance to confirm within their own village.
All right, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, I want to say thank you, of course, because a lot of people were saying, well, what is the misinformation about? I wanted to find out whether Mr. Skerritt would play exactly what you said, and, verbatim, but that was not presented. So I was just looking for information from you, to basically, you still brush aside what was said there.
Matt, thanks. I appreciate this very much. Thanks for allowing me that opportunity, because you see what he did. He quoted me correctly, and then he goes on to give his own spin. All right, so it's all about spin, But also, Matt, what I would say to the Prime Minister is, as I close off, this question of elections in Dominica is a very serious issue. And I get the impression that we have embarked upon a confirmation process. And even now, even in the questions that were asked yesterday about the calling of a snap election, that the Prime Minister cannot reassure the Dominican public.
So you think he was
that
he was evading the question about the election in Dominica, snap election?
Yes, he evaded it. He basically stuck to the fact that the Constitution allowed him to call an election at any time. But that's not the issue. The issue is whether or not you will allow the confirmation process to take place so that the next election in Dominica will be on a clean slate. We still have the issue of the bloated voters list. And if you call an election, you're going to be using a bloated voters list. If you call an election now, you're going to be going against the wishes of the CCJ, which said clearly that no future elections in Dominica should not be held with the same bloated voters list and all of the irregularities that goes with it. So the Prime Minister, it appears to me, seems ready to continue to misbehave in that regard. He seems to want to continue to believe that he is master and king over Dominica. But all he has to do is to allow the Electoral Commission to get this right, to do it right. Let the confirmation process go through, and then you can call an election, and then let us see.
But you would not, given his responses yesterday, you would not be surprised if he calls an election.
I would not be surprised, Matt. I would not be surprised. I think he is definitely hedging his bets on that, and it seems to me now that there is a likelihood that we will see a snap election at some point.
And if one is called, what do you think? Are you guys ready?
Matt, if one is called, we have already said publicly that we will participate, because I believe that this will be the last election of this Prime Minister. But even then, we are still pleading for a level playing field. We want to run an election on a level playing field. Okay? A bloated voters list does not allow us that opportunity. Okay, so again, we want to plead, especially to the Electoral Commission, to ensure that any election in Dominica is done in such a manner that everyone can be satisfied that it is free and fair. And we do not believe that doing it with a bloated voters list on the old list is going to be free and fair. So we have that issue, to contend with, but we are also equally certain that the Dominican public, they are absolutely fed up with this Labour Party government, that the majority of Dominicans want a change of government. And also, Matt, thankfully, the majority of Dominicans are looking forward to the government under my leadership and that of the UWP Team Dominica. So I believe that things are lining up nicely for us, but at the same time, we still believe that there should be this free and fair process, and we continue to agitate for it.
How are you guys doing in terms of getting persons to confirm?
We have been out there, Matt. We have the times that we have been on the ground is we have been encouraging persons who have the IDs to go out and do it. Every time on all of our programs, every opportunity that we get, we have been encouraging persons who have the current IDs to go out and confirm while we continue the battle to get the birth certificates reinstated. So that is where we are. We believe that the process should move forward. That is the law of the land. We're very respectful of the laws of it. Remember, we are not in favor of the confirmation process. However, once it became law, we must follow the law because we are law-abiding citizens. We follow the laws of the country. So once that became law, we are falling in line. But we are saying that it must be done right. It must be done in a way that is transparent and that is fair. And what is happening now with the exclusion of entire villages from the process, especially, it seems, villages where the United Workers' Party is the strongest, we are saying that this whole process seems to be very much aligned against us. And it must be corrected, and it must be done very, very quickly.
Dr. Fontaine, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So you heard Dr. Fontaine. Somebody says, Matt, if the Prime Minister is from Vacans, living in Mont Daniel, how is he reconfirming in Roseau Central? More.
Is a campaign of misinformation
and
misrepresentation being actively conducted by certain political leaders, most notably the leader of the United Workers' Party, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. In an apparent attempt to confuse voters and discourage participation in the confirmation process, Dr. Fontaine has made a series of false and misleading statements, including claiming that an 80-year-old Dominican by birth residing in Antigua and Barbuda for decades without a valid passport, driver's license, or social security card can have his registration confirmed in 10 minutes. This is false and misleading, and Dr. Fontaine knows this. Asserting that the birth certificate has been removed as a preferred means of confirmation, this too is false, and he knows it. Stating that he has written to and met the Electoral Commission regarding confirmation issues, I am advised that this claim is untrue, and Dr. Fontaine knows that is untrue. Alleging that he possesses confessions from persons who voted multiple times in 2019, yet to date he has not produced a single piece of evidence on this, nor reported these alleged crimes to law enforcement or the electoral office. This too is a baseless and irresponsible statement. And if you are an aspiring leader of a country and you're a leader of a party and you have evidence that a criminal act was conducted, multiple criminal acts were conducted, and you have yet to report it to anybody, on October 16, 2025, Dr. Fontaine publicly pledged that his party, the United Workers' Party, provide assistance to, and I quote, those who do not have any of the IDs that are required, as passport, driver's license, social security card. The idea is not to leave any single person behind. We need every single vote, and we will do everything possible that is the United Workers' Party, will do everything possible to ensure that our supporters have the IDs that they require to be able to get the confirmation, end of quote. That's what Dr. Fountain said on October 16, 2025, that his party and himself will facilitate all his supporters, those who do not have IDs, to get their IDs so that they can get confirmed. However, by November 16, 2025, he reversed his position, alleging that the Dominican Labour Party was, and I quote, offering to pay for passports for supporters, calling it, and I quote, naked manipulation, end of quote. And a quote from Dr. Fountain, a violation of the country's laws, end of quote. Such dangerous political flip-flopping only serves to erode public confidence. Public confidence. That's November 6th, sorry. November 6th, he said this. So the first statement was on October 16, and the second was November 6th. And so such dangerous political flip-flopping only serves to erode public confidence in our democratic institutions. So on one time, he said in the Calago territory and other places that he will facilitate all his support. And next time, a month later, he's saying that which the Labour Party is engaged in, the same thing he said he will do. He says it is contrary to the violation of the country's laws. And so, ladies and gentlemen, these dishonest and willfully deceptive statements by opposition leaders are designed to undermine the credibility of our electoral process and discourage citizens from confirming their registration.
You know what would make the case? And I'm hoping that somebody can send me this information. The Prime Minister is saying one thing, Thompson is saying another. I need the quote verbatim so we won't interpret what was said. If you were in that audience, please get that tape for me, please. Somebody says it's obvious that Skerrit will call the election before the confirmation process is done. Well, I know that some encouraging is going on. It's actually looking for the young people to confirm. As I said yesterday, the young people, they are looking for something. They need something. They call it cool outs last election. Oh boy. Somebody say we can play the donkey brain after each of his press briefings. Again, that will be totally disrespectful, okay? I don't support that. Let's see if we can take a voice note. And of course, listen, I want verbatim. I want the exact quotes that the Prime Minister is saying that Thompson said. So let's see if that will surface. Yes, hello?
Matt,
yes?
good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, since you hear Prime Minister Skerrit come out and start to go after the leader of the United Workers' Party or the opposition, whichever you want to put it, you best be believing election is around the corner. Matt, all Skerrit is going to do is burp, and those laborites around him going to smell that burp and just regurgitate it. And a smear campaign is going to be launched against Thompson Fountain in the worst way. And then he's going to call elections. And he's going to use UWP supporters to help him push that point, because they're going to start Thompson this, Thompson that, he not there, he on that, he underneath this, he's saying this. You know, your Skerrit say he said that. That is what is going to happen. Mark elections within the next 6 months. Matt, watch the velocity Look at the strength at which Skerrit is going to go for Thompson Fontaine, and then you will know how close election is. That's all we have to do. Anything time you see Skerrit cock his gun of insults and manipulation like that, election lala. You call bazo de to aviete qui avait ham qui expire. You call voyer de ti l'argent la conqueuse la toi Gilbom l'autre côté là. Election kal sorti. Daddy nou kal boy ça. Daddy nou kal boy ça vite. Mais si on parle de temps que comprendre dernière élection qui kal kon place en Dominique. Et au moins dit ça.
Someone says there should be a serious mobilization about the birth certificate, rejected for confirmation. Many will not vote. That statement from the Prime Minister seems to be a distraction from the electoral process. Again, you know, if I was a public relations officer for any political party, I would like to quote verbatim what one another says, right? Bring the evidence. Somebody says you need to play It's Not Your Damn Business from Skerrit. Skerrit is flip-flopping style of politics. Is the master of that. I just want to tell you that Mr. Julius Timothy, the former minister with the Labour Party, and of course the United Workers' Party finance minister, former finance minister, will be laid to rest tomorrow. They'll be viewing in the morning and will be laid to rest tomorrow afternoon 2. I can tell you, it's not looking good for the Labour Party on the ground. The Prime Minister is disappointed that the confirmation is not up to what he expected. He wants to call an election. That's a WhatsApp message. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, I.
What higher guys doing is trying to put people in because there's some little dirty workers, supporters that are doing something. And what the Prime Minister is trying to do is trying to put people again to cause more destruction. But he shouldn't be them petty little venom like little malprop behavior. And not, you know what I conclude to say? I'm not saying is that. But it seems it's straight and his other best friend, not just behave like that too. A kind of vermin malprop behavior. It looks like man abused them while they were young. They were abused. It looks like they were very much abused.
All right, caller, thank you. But good day to you. If it was Lennox, now Thompson Fontaine, or it was Lennox, now Thompson Fontaine, Skerrit is very desperate. He knows that his reign is over. Lot of WhatsApp messages here. Man, he holds a news conference to say that Dr. Fountain is flip-flopping, but not making sure the process is clear and without hindrance. The Prime Minister also knew that who sabotaged the airport equipment. He also knew that the drug dealers are in fake cars. Why has he not reported to the police, who are his friends? So we have heard many things from the Prime Minister according to this WhatsApp message, and he has never been able to prove or give the evidence. He says as it's at the top of his mouth, but where's the evidence? That's what I'm asking for this afternoon there. If the Prime Minister had that in his possession, he would have provided that, right? Not interpreting what was said, if any. Skerrit has a hearing problem. Fisherman make $4,000 to $5,000. Skerrit farmers making $45,000. So he has a hearing problem according to this WhatsApp message. Hearing what he wants. Now, do you remember the last snap election when he went up against himself? He wasn't looking good and showed his real support on the ground when all polls stations are staying empty. And he sent out a voice note begging people to go out and vote. When he didn't even know what he had to say to the Caribbean journalists when asked, why are the voting stations so empty? On the telephone, there's a lot to see, a lot to discover. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Yes, sir. I am convinced that this man is going to call a snap election. Very convinced.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you may not agree with me, but you're right. That young man was killed. I would not be surprised if he was killed by the police. I don't trust the police in Dominica, and I would not be surprised.
Serious allegations, and of course, family members who basically witnessed what went on there at 3 o'clock. Why would the police put on a mask? I don't know to carry out such crime. Not the young people of downtown. Your vote is fundamental right to effect change in your country. It's not an instrument to be bought or sold, period. So please go out and register and confirm to vote, okay? A lot of WhatsApp messages. Somebody's asking, man, have you ever seen an honest con man? Oh boy. The Prime Minister is afraid of losing so bad. The fact that he said he will be there until kingdom come is trying to now convince himself. He's afraid of losing so bad. I just want to inform you that you should keep looking to this story as it relates to Venezuela and the U.S. For the past 24 hours, Venezuela has been mobilizing troops in response to a U.S. warship in clear sight. As we go this afternoon, let's share that story.
This comes a day after Fox News confirmed reports that the UK began.
Yeah, let's go.
Breaking tonight, the world's largest warship is now in Latin American waters. President Trump has dispatched the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier strike group on what's being called a counterterrorism mission. That has prompted a strong reaction from Venezuela. Here's our chief national security correspondent, Jennifer Griffin.
As the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean continues, Venezuela's defense minister ordered the country's 200,000 soldiers to prepare for war.
If they come to touch Venezuela, there you will see a people determined to defend this homeland to the death.
Colombia has halted the intelligence it will share with the U.S. This comes a day after Fox News confirmed reports that the U.K. began limiting some of the intelligence it shares with the U.S. in the Caribbean. Both countries have concerns U.S. military strikes against 19 boats, killing 75 people, contravene international law, and amount to extrajudicial killings of civilians.
We have very strong partnerships with the UK and other countries. Again, nothing has changed or happened that has impeded in any way our ability to do what we're doing, nor are we asking anyone to help us with what we're doing in any realm, and that includes military.
The USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's largest warship, is now in Latin American waters after being ordered by the Pentagon to leave its deployment to the Middle East ahead of schedule. The aircraft carrier strike group, with nearly 4,000 sailors on board and dozens of warplanes, is being escorted by 3 guided missile destroyers. 24% of all U.S. Navy vessels are now deployed to U.S. Southern Command. U.S. ground forces, meantime, have returned to Panama for the first time in over 2 decades for jungle warfare training, reviving the Cold War-era Green Hell program. The renewed focus on jungle combat coincides with President Trump's talk of potential land operations.
So are we going to war with Venezuela?
I don't know, is the honest truth.
Have you been briefed?
Yes. Based on that briefing, I think the administration does not want to go to war with Venezuela.
Colombia, which provides the U.S. with 85% of all actionable intelligence used by the Joint Interagency Task Force South to counter narcotics smuggling, according to the leading Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. John?
Well, I don't think the president wants to go to war anywhere. But if he's forced into it, I'm sure he would.
Well, I don't think there are enough U.S. troops in the region to actually invade Venezuela, but certainly there's some gunboat diplomacy going on.
Certainly a lot of that. Jennifer, thank you so much.
Venezuela is ordering a massive mobilization of its military as the United States.
We don't want war here nor in any other place around the world. But if they dare to touch Venezuela, they're going to find us in every street.
The announcement came after America's largest warship arrived in U.S. Southern Command area of operations. That area includes most of Latin America. We've got CNN senior national security reporter Zach Cohen in Washington for us. Zach, good to see you. What more do we know about Venezuela's mobilization of not only its troops, but equipment as well as ammunition? And then also, how significant is it that the USS Gerald R. Ford is now in Southern Command's region?
Yeah, Venezuelan officials making clear that this mobilization was ordered directly by President Nicolas Maduro and it comes as a response to the U.S. military buildup in the region, which of course has been used to conduct these strikes against alleged drug boats, but increasing tensions with Venezuela in the process. Venezuelan officials calling the U.S. buildup a, quote, imperialist threat, and saying that they plan to conduct land, air, and naval exercises to really, as a show of force, to essentially ward off a potential U.S. invasion of sorts. Now, the aircraft carrier USS Gerald Ford is the U.S.'s largest aircraft carrier. It is the most advanced aircraft carrier in the U.S. fleet. At the same time, it brings significant air assets as well. It has 9 air squadrons, anti-surface capabilities, and it will join what is already a very large U.S. military presence in the region, including guided missile destroyers that are all ballistic capable, raising questions about what this firepower is needed. The Trump administration insists that the Gerald Ford and the rest of the military assets there are intended to conduct the counter-narcotics mission, the targeting of alleged drug boats. But at the same time, I'm told U.S. officials were unable to tell Congress why they need so much firepower to target small boats. So this uncertainty is still increasing and contributing to the ongoing tensions with Venezuela.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, a lot of people looking on and wondering whether this means some kind of confrontation down the line. But we know that the undercurrents of a lot of what we've been seeing is that Caracas does believe that Washington is seeking regime change, something we've even heard from President Trump in sort of nuanced terms. But what are your sources telling you?
Yeah, we reported back in September and since then that there are some within the Trump administration who are pushing a strategy to effectively conduct strikes inside Venezuela with the idea of pushing Nicolas Maduro, the president of Venezuela, out of power. That is still something some U.S. officials hope can be accomplished as part of this military buildup. At the same time, we also know that the Trump administration told Congress just a few days ago that it doesn't currently have the legal justification to target anything inside Venezuela or any other territory, even though they are potentially seeking an additional legal justification that would allow them to do so. So really some uncertainty, some ambiguity there. As you mentioned, Donald Trump has been non-committal on this since the beginning, both speaking in very verbose terms, in terms of threatening Nicolas Maduro, but at the same time, not going all the way to commit to U.S. forces conducting some sort of a regime change strategy operation targeting him. So we're gonna have to wait and see what ultimately happens. But again, there's really a lot of questions as to what all this U.S. firepower, a significant piece of the U.S. Navy, what it is doing there and why it's needed, which is, again, is stoking the questions about a potential regime change in Venezuela.
Yeah. All right, Zach Cohen, great to have you on the story. Thank you so much.
Yep. We'll be back tomorrow on our favorite program on the Saturday morning. Stick around, Dominica.
Fais vite, s'il vous plaît, moi pressé.
Ça l'aime ici, Mak a wey.
Eh bien, il s'en a crédit ou pas qu'à bien. Ouais, millimètre là, même côté à moi d'où là.
Là, il est tout l'air. Ek mate ka wey?
Ça veut dire, ou besoin aller Optifam vitement avant zio vin plus mauvais.
Dis-moi, Mak. Puis pas genre di moi ni problème épis de moi.
Eh bien, c'est Optifam qui n'est plus meilleur docteur Zé en pays. À part de ça, Optifam j'ai tiré en chai l'argent à ce frame lunette. Et puis, on est plus belle frame lunette qui en style.
Tout ça? Eh ben, moi kay check pressure moi avant. Et qu'après, n'a Optifam.
Non, à tout fi. Allez là même. Puisqu'il y a qu'à check pressure zéro, examiner zéro pour licence chauffeur, check pour pisadou, et qu'il y a qu'à jic manager maladies die glaucoma et puis cataracte.
Bon, qui compte Optifam yé?
Optifam à sous 23 Great Marlborough Street, 2 Point Queens, Amwesville. Téléphone 440-8486. Eh bien, 285-8676.
Mon Dieu, merci oui. Pour Optifam, yo se limo yon pour occupation zero.
Treat yourself, your family, or a loved one to a comprehensive eye examination at Optifam Eye Center to check for 20/20 vision. Also inquire about our telemedicine services, filling of external eyeglasses prescriptions, and specials on eyewear.
Also opened is A Medic Urgent Care and Telemedicine Center, offering specialized and general health care. Call 612-1328 or come in for your appointment. You could also visit our new location.
Mouvement Créole à Soukir. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio Curateur qui présenté. Mouvement Créole. Tous les mardis soirs entre 6 et après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement Créole. À nous faire un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames, tous les mardis soirs. QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous rapidement Mamayla. Mouvement Créole à seconde station QFM. Voici avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement Créole. Matchez ça.
Register with Social Security. Make sure your employers pay, cause some of them do pay. Make sure they pay your Social Security. Secure your age pension when you're old. Invalidity pension when health has left you cold. Survivor's pension secure for your spouse and your children. Life and health happen unpredictable. Don't take risk. You can't afford to gamble. Secure yourself with Social Security. I said that. Social Security. It put you know.
This Christmas, Flow is making the season merrier when you add postpaid to internet. Unwrap a new smartphone for only $10. Plus, we're giving you 35% off your mobile bill. And win even more goodies with our Spin the Wheel Christmas promotion. This Christmas, the rewards are on us. Add postpaid to your internet plan today in-store or visit discoverflow.co for more info. Terms and conditions apply. Flow, we keep your Christmas rhythm flowing.
Some laundry detergents may miss the mark when it comes to adding softness to your loads. But fortunately, Dominica, we've got Ensueno fabric softener. Ensueno is the conditioner of laundry care, making your clothes feel butterfly soft. Discover Ensueno fabric softener. Long-lasting, nature-inspired fragrances protect your fabrics. Revitalize your laundry with a refreshing scent of spring fresh Ensueno fabric softener. Makes your clothes fluffy, alive, and vibrant. Love all over Dominica. Local agents, Asia African Company. Available also markets at your favorite friendly neighborhood outlet or shop. Use Ensueno.
I was compelled to appear in person at the Silver Lake area. As you stated, I'm the former parliamentary representative for the Roosevelt constituency. Silver Lake being part of the constituency, it's a community that I am very close to. The ties between myself and Silver Lake is one that is very tight. So once I heard about a homicide in Silver Lake this morning, I made it a priority to show up to give support to the family and to the community of the victim. My understanding is that sometime this morning at about 3 a.m. thereabout, 4 masked men descended on the house of the victim, and they appeared by knocking the door and shouting police, and thereafter the shooting took place, causing the death of a young man called Eddie. They called him Boom. He's a man I would have known personally. So it's rather very unfortunate. It's very, very sad. As expected, the community right now is in mourning. The community is shocked, and the community is looking for answers to the many questions concerning what appears to be a spate of homicide in the community over the past 5 years. Or more. Mark, if you go back to 2017, there was a gentleman who was shot, and that shooting, totally that is, and that shooting has since caused rippling effects. And there are allegations of rivalry, and it seems to be going on. Well, of course, Matt, I do not want to say too much because the matter is subject to investigation. As a matter of fact, I met the police officers on the scene. They have since left the area. I'm not too sure how much they would have obtained in their investigation. But as we speak, nobody has been formally arrested for the shooting. So let us hope that the police will gain some success and the family's victim will get justice, the community will get justice. But what is happening, or what has been happening in Silver Lake, Matt, is something that we need to pay attention to, because while some of us may think that it's Silver Lake and do not pay regard, Silver Lake consists of humans just like us, people, barefoot people, ordinary people. And what's happening in Silver Lake can happen in another community and many communities in Dominica. So I believe all of us must pay attention to what's happening and to contribute in whatever capacity to minimize gun violence and to minimize tension in the community and other communities that may result in homicide or killing.
We see a trend, as you said, and it's been going on for a while. Do you think that the powers that be has been ignoring the Silver Lake community? Or should pay more attention to Silver Lake, given one of
I believe, right. I believe Silver Lake definitely needs more attention. We need a support system here for the community, particularly the young people. Matt, the people who are being killed primarily are young people, young men, and the alleged killers usually are young men. And therefore, it is important that the policymakers, the government, organizations, whether they are NGOs or not, must pay more attention to the community. A support system needs to be developed to cause the young people to feel a sense of belonging, to develop a method or abilities to mediate and to deal with their problems without resorting to violence. Of course, Matt, the younger people also need more opportunities. I have placed on public record that I'm not aware that any child from Silver Lake has been given a scholarship to go on to advance his or education. But I'm aware that Silver Lake has produced bright children. Some of them did very well at their TXC. However, they have not been given such opportunities to go on so that they can return to the community and be a role model. I believe that's very important. And it should not cost the government much to send one or two children from Silver Lake to study in different disciplines, have them return, and be a role model to the younger children in the community. I think that's where it starts. You know, the older people, of course, we're going to give up on them. But some way, somehow, we need to get the experts to study what's happening in Silver Lake and to generate recommendations which can be practical and effectuated to bring that matter, that what appears to be a rivalry, to rest. So we will not be here, you know, talking about another murder, another killing, another homicide.
But you've been there for a few minutes, Joshua. What is the mood? What is the environment in Silver Lake this time?
Well, generally there's a cloud of sadness over the community. Since I came here, you know, people have been very, very mellow, you know, looking for answers, you know, having discussion amongst themselves as to what happened, what could have happened, who could have done that, why they could have done that, you know. So the loss really is not just for one family, but for the entire community. And having spoken to a few young persons since I came here, they themselves feel they're walking on the edge. They're walking on glass, on broken glass. They feel like they may be next. You know, I spoke to a young man and he said that he has been staying away from trouble, but right now he feels like he may want to be in another community because like this is happening too often. You know, especially how it happened. You know, they feel unsafe. They feel naked. They feel exposed. They feel vulnerable. And I cannot blame them, given what has been happening in the community.
Was he the only person in that house that got when he got shot?
Yeah, from my understanding, he was the only one in the house at the time.
And his perpetrators pretended to be the police.
Can you repeat that, Mark?
I said, these perpetrators there pretended to be the police. That's what you heard.
From what I understand, they went to the house of the victim. They knocked the door and they shouted police. That is according to the account of a neighbor of the victim.
Interesting.
The victim's neighbor said that she heard police. So some other young man also said he heard police. And then they heard the gunshot. And by the time they checked, they saw the 4 alleged perpetrators fleeing from the scene. And since then, they have been left in shock.